Hi, I'm Chuck Lowry, Director of Sales and Marketing at Incisive Legal Intelligence, and I'm here at LegalTech at the New York Hilton with Mark Medice from the Hildebrand Consulting Practice. And we're going to do a couple of sessions this afternoon, 5 minutes or so each, on different aspects of the legal profession, especially as they are able to have light shed upon them by a consultant. One of the things that Mark and I are both very interested in is research. At Incisive, I present to law firms and to in-house law departments and to vendors to the legal profession a database that is fundamentally an integrated online resource that collects all the information from the various Incisive publications about the practice of law in the United States. Law firms use it for competitive intelligence purposes, for benchmarking, for marketing and business development. And Mark, in a sense, is involved in the same sort of work, and I thought maybe you would like to take a minute to tell us about that.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chuck. Be glad to. Well, I'm the program director for a program we call Hilderbrandt Peer Monitor, and essentially what that is it's a digital benchmarking a program that we offer. The way it works, in short, is that each month we have a piece of software that digitally captures billing and expense information from our participating law firms, and we aggregate that information together and make it available very in granular slices, so cuts by practice areas and geographies and so forth, so that folks can get really good up-to-the-moment data on rate information and realization, expense information, which is so important in today's operating environment, as well as things that are really important like cash management and leverage and profitability types of things. Through the course of that program, we have been able to introduce to the legal industry a stock market index of sorts, something we call the Peer Monitor Economic Index, which basically on a monthly basis really demonstrates or reports the health of the industry. And we've been seeing some very interesting trends in that regard.
So fundamentally you're dealing with the CFO, the executive director, the director of planning, people that, the professionalization of law firm management is your friend.
Well, absolutely. Although, to your point, while those individuals are certainly central figures in the operation and the orchestration of good financial management, what we really feel passionate about is getting these insights built into the psyche of the managing partners of the firm as well. Because if you really think about it, law firms are truly unique entities in the sense that there's almost a dichotomy of professional managers that are non-practicing attorneys, as well as the executives who manage that are attorneys. And the more we can bring those worlds together and have common points of reference and measurement, I think the better off we're going to be. Not always easy to do when these attorneys are billing many hours a year, but something we think is a critical success factor for the operations of the firm.
So using your tool, law firms are able to compare their own revenue distribution, expense distribution with their firm in previous periods and with their peer firms on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, that's right. In terms of the time
anonymously.
Well, to some extent anonymously, but to some extent very explicitly. So in other words, while one firm cannot benchmark individually with another firm, one firm can benchmark in the collection with a small set of other firms that they know very well who is in that group, that peer group. And so by doing that, they're able to get some real specific insights about the key levers, so rate information. And that's a really important part. When we designed this system, we asked managing partners and other executives in law firms, what are some of the key design principles that would make a program like this ideal? And one of the things they said was, when we benchmark, the legal industry is so granular and fragmented in its own right, oftentimes the information simply won't be valuable in the aggregate, but we need to boil it down to some very precise groupings of firms where we can get some real targeted insights. By doing that, then it becomes not just discretionary, interesting information, but it becomes more actionable. I can act on that information. I can lower my expenses. I can raise my rates. I can decide whether my productivity levels truly are below standard or not.
Though you can also come to negative conclusions, can't you?
Absolutely.
That a rate increase here is not sustainable, or an expense cut here is counterintuitive.
Well, yeah, and when you really think about it, let's just look over the past 12 to 24 months in the industry. One of the key driving factors of law firm profitability has been rate increases. If we go into 2009 and we're not able to realize the same degree of rate growth in 2009 as in prior years, and we see a softness in demand patterns, law firms will have a significant contraction in their profitability, even beyond those forecasts for the industry. So if a law firm is not maximizing their rate potential in the marketplace, there's significant direct effect on their bottom line performance. So understanding where they are relative to the market in general is important. And as we may talk later, addressing and interacting with their clients and their counsel in terms of those very interesting discussions, the more armed they are in terms of those discussions, the better off they're going to be.
Thank you, Mark. This is Chuck Lowry here with Mark Medice of Hildebrand, and we are going to take a little break now, and we'll do another segment in a minute.